Okay, we're back. So, let's get into it. So, we left off with the Ten of Cups. You're at a space now where you're feeling content within yourself. You've reached a point of being super comfortable now, knowing what you want and don't want. You're becoming comfortable with laying out what you are expecting in connections that you are being offered, or that you may have recently left, where you're now getting very clear on what you're looking for and what you're not looking for. And you're standing on business with it. And you're not compromising it. Let's see. The moon coming out in your area of concern. Knight of Swords in reverse with the Ten of Cups. Interesting. Interesting. There's a concern about not wanting to be too hasty with making a decision about who you give access to now that you've reached a space of contentment within you. A part of you may be a little bit concerned that the area you've reached within you may come off as arrogant. That is just a part of you that's still bullying you out of your new space of inner contentment you've reached. Okay? You are definitely where you're supposed to be. You're going to come off rude to people. You're going to come off forceful, ruthless, with the 222 is just on the clock. When you stand on business with your expectations in connections that are being offered to you. I'm being drawn to sharing an analogy I kind of came up with on my own. People represent to me their own worlds. No one can just up and change a planet that is a representation of that planet solely on its own. If that planet is operating in its own journey, its own energy, and it's functioning to the extent of how that planet's journey is supposed to go, you leave that planet alone. You let that planet chill and do what it wants to do on its own. It's called free will. You are your own planet. They are their own planet. This is once again a metaphorical analogy that I've just came up with myself for how I choose to see things. So for you, you are a planet where you have your own inner workings and inner functionings. Your boundaries are law. You redefining your boundaries is law. The way your boundaries show up creates the regulation of your planet and its prosperous energy, as do others in the way that they show up. If the way one planet shows up doesn't necessarily align with yours, what do I mean? I'll tell you in a minute. If one doesn't align necessarily with yours, the way that they show up, that's a passerby. That's a Nice to meet you. I'll see you another day. That's a I'll see you later, nice to meet you type of energy. That's an acquaintance energy. Now let me get to the point of what I mean by not aligned. What I said earlier. When you stick to your boundaries and another planet shows up to say, hey, I want to offer sharing my time with you, spending time with you, seeing what's up, how you doing. I want to collaborate with you. I want to work with you. I want to say hello to you. I want to be friends with you. I want to have a soul connection with you. I feel drawn to you. Whatever, right? You align you line up and align what their boundaries are. What are their expectations of what they're expecting out of this connection? You align it to yours. You will see for yourself visually, not by what laughs you share, what you have in common, what energy you happen to feel. It's about what clear expectations or boundaries are you looking for when it comes to a connection with you or me, is the questions to be asking. And when you compare the answers, compare them. Because you're going to have to. You have to determine if they mix well together and if they will work well together and if they honor each other or if it's not going to work well together and it's going to likely create unnecessary conflict, tension, and eventually a burning of a bridge, depending on how different the boundaries and expectations are. If there's a planet that shows up in the same alignment of expectations as you, look into it further, because that will mesh well together, of course, at least in my perspective, from an outward person looking in. You're going to have to be your own personal judgment. But understand and keep in mind, over time, planets grow, planets change, planets evolve as they interact with the environment they're in. Because each planet is on its own journey. The art of detachment is necessary for the purpose of further growth and to know when a connection is meant to detach after a period of time or if it is meant to stay for that lifetime. Or if it's meant to take a break and recircle itself when it's time, which is called, in my eyes, a long-distance relationship, a long-distance connection. It's a very odd metaphor, but it makes sense to me. So, if it resonates with y'all, hopefully it helps out with whatever is going on here. Okay. I was just drawn to sharing that. So it just kept showing up and I didn't, well, anyways, let's get back into it. I'll see you in the next video.